In this video, I'm going to tell you 3 things that I wish I knew before I got big and bulky. Too big and too bulky for a woman. Here's what inspired today's video. I had a call with my mom, and my mom told me that my aunt had told her that Kirsten is getting way too big, way too bulky for a woman. So apparently she had seen some videos that I had posted on Facebook, some photos that I had posted of myself, and thought that this is getting way too far. She's way too big now and she should stop lifting those weights. And I think other women might think that way too, that this ideal, the way a female body should look like, is to have these really skinny arms and skinny legs and not too much muscle and this really, really tiny waist that looks like it's about to break. And to be honest with you, this is what I thought in my early 20s and in my mid 20s. And this is why I trained the way I did. This is why I did tons of cardio so that I could be as skinny as possible. However, now I'm really happy with the muscle that I have and the strength that I have, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Here are the 3 things that I wish I knew before I got big and bulky. The first thing is this: it is incredibly difficult for a woman to get big and bulky. It takes a lot. What it takes is lifting very heavy weights, lifting very frequently, resting, eating a certain way, all of the things that most women don't do. The way most women strength train is that they use relatively light weights, they do a lot of circuit training, they do a lot of boot camps, and this is absolutely no way how you could ever get big and bulky. But even if you're lifting heavy dumbbells or heavy barbells, the chances that you're going to get big and bulky are still really, really, really small. We don't have the same level of testosterone as men have. Women do have testosterone, of course, naturally, we do have to have it, but just we don't have as much, so much that we could get big and bulky from just touching the weights here and there. It's just impossible. The other thing is eating. If somebody wants to get big and bulky, that takes a lot of calories. What I've seen in my 5+ years of coaching women as a nutrition coach is that a lot of women are under eating. They're eating sometimes 1,200, 1,300 calories, and it is literally impossible to get bulky on those calories. The other thing is protein. Most women are severely under eating protein, and most women have really hard time getting even just 100 grams of protein per day, which is the bare minimum if you want to put on a little bit of muscle mass. It is so difficult for a lot of women. And if they really wanted to get really big and really bulky, they would have to double that amount. They would have to eat a couple 100 grams of protein in order to get that muscle size that we're talking about here, that a lot of people would say is big and bulky. Another thing that is required if you want to get big and bulky is to recover really hard. Recover as hard as you train, which is not something that most people do. If you train really hard, if you lift regularly, you move heavy weights, you are essentially an athlete. You would need a lot of sleep. You need like 9 hours of solid sleep every night because recovery time is where your muscles actually heal and grow. What you see in real life is that most people get 6, 7, maybe 8 hours of sleep, disrupted sleep, but it's more like 6 or 7 hours. They are overly stressed. They have work and kids and things, and they are stressed out and they are not recovering well. So when these are your conditions, don't worry, you're never gonna get bulky. Another thing is discipline and consistency. Let's say that you are lifting weights, you are using heavy weights, but if you have weeks when you couldn't do it, or something came up, or you were on vacation, or the work got really busy and you never got to the gym, there is zero chance that you're gonna get big and bulky because it takes incredible amount of discipline, and it takes, like we already talked before, certain types of workouts, very heavy weights, very structured workouts, and this is not what most people are doing. And lastly, supplements. If you truly want to get big and bulky, you would have to take some supplements, and some of them are probably things that you should never touch. The second thing that I wish I knew before I got big and bulky is that there's always somebody who's not gonna like the way you look. There are so many people in the world, and it is impossible to be liked by everybody. And everybody has their opinions. So my question to you is that why do you think that somebody else's opinion is more important than your own? If you like to be strong, if you like to have visible muscle on your body, do it, have it. It doesn't matter what somebody else says. And also, you should be really proud of what you have accomplished. If you're a woman who has visible muscle mass, who looks strong, who has these strong arms and definition in their back and glutes and quads, you should be really proud of yourself because it shows the level of dedication that you have. It shows that really you take care of yourself. It shows that you are healthy. And being healthy is not so common anymore. And really look out the noise if somebody's trying to tell you that this is getting too far. If you would like to get some amazing muscle building workouts and also the most important nutritional tools in order to start gaining muscle, then go ahead and grab my Lean Ladies Calorie, Protein and Workout Guide. It is linked in the description and in show notes. Here's the third thing that I wish I knew before I got big and bulky, and that is that there are certain health benefits that you can only get from strength training. Number one, faster metabolism. Everybody wants to have a faster metabolism. How often have you heard people say that my metabolism is so slow and sluggish and that's why I'm gaining all this weight? Well, when you build muscle, you have high muscle mass, then you're going to have faster metabolism, which is making your fat loss so much easier. When you have muscle in the body, you don't have to manually burn calories all the time. When I say manually, I mean you don't have to do tons of cardio. You don't have to check your watch and see, I burned 400 calories, now I get to eat 400 calories. All this goes away with strength training because when you have muscle on your body, your metabolism will be higher and you're going to be burning calories also when you are resting. You're lying there on the couch, reading something, and you are burning calories. You don't have to run every minute. The next thing that is so important to understand for people, and is a big, big health benefit, is that having muscle on your body is the best thing you can do against diabetes. This is true. A lot of people think that it's all about weight loss, but I would argue that it is about building muscle. Because what does muscle do? Muscle will take up the sugars from your bloodstream. Let's say you eat something, your glucose goes up, which by the way is normal. Let's not freak out. Let's not say that our blood sugar should never rise. No, it's going to go up. It's normal. Now, what's going to happen next when you have muscle is that it acts like a sponge. It's going to take those sugars and puts them into your system so that they can be used for energy. And if you don't have enough muscle mass on the body, you just can't have that. And this is where you're going to run into problems like elevated blood sugar levels all the time. The next thing that is important to understand is that strength training is the thing that helps to strengthen your bones as well. Your muscles and your bones are attached to one another. So now when you train your muscle, you use your muscle, that pulls on your bone, and through that it actually strengthens your bones. And this is so important for women to understand, especially around menopause, because this is the time where our estrogen is starting to decline and bone density together with it. You need to do some strength training, and adding in some plyometrics is also a really good idea. The next thing is physical strength. Obvious. We want to be physically strong, and you can't get that from any other form of exercise. And coming back to this conversation that I had with my mom told me, when you come in to visit this summer, I have this and that job for you in the house. I want you to take out this old couch, bring in the new one, put together some furniture, do all of these things because you're strong. I'm like, there you go. You can't ask a weak person to do that stuff because a weak person just cannot do this stuff. So that's why it's awesome to be strong. And think, how do you want to age? What do you want to be able to do when you get older? Do you want to be strong? Do you want to be independent? If yes, you got to strength train, even if it actually made you big and bulky, which it won't. Your hormonal health will be better when you lift weights. And I know this from my own personal experience. When I did tons of cardio, I completely overdid it. And of course, you can do cardio way smarter than I did too. But if you do it a lot, if you do it the way I did, you're going to end up with pretty unbalanced hormones because you're so stressed out all the time. And this was my case too. My sex hormones were super low. I've shared it so many times. I didn't have my period for 10 years. And now with strength training, I don't have any of these problems. Everything's okay. Strength training has amazing cognitive health benefits. People who lift weights have sharper thinking and better memory. This has been shown time and time again. Because you're stronger, you also have better injury prevention. Let's say that you trip over something. You might be able to catch yourself because you are strong. You're not going to fall. Or if you will fall, you're going to recover from your injury so much faster compared to somebody who doesn't have the strong bones and strong muscles the way you have if you've been strength training. And the last thing is confidence. And this is so, so important for women. I saw this when I was working at the gym as a personal trainer, and I continue to see this as an online coach as well. A lot of times people who begin strength training think that I'm nobody, I can't do this, my opinion doesn't matter. They have to check with everybody. What do you think? What do you think? That goes away because you become more confident, you become more trusting of yourself, your self-worth goes up, and you're going to feel so much better. If you enjoyed today's video, I know you're going to love the next one as well.